Howdy! Welcome to another day of the 180 Day Idea Machine Challenge. And today I'm going to talk about 10 ideas how we can make cars better. And what I'm thinking about are just some apps or improvements over cars that can make our car safer or more convenient to use. And somebody, I think it was James Altucher, who said that a car is basically nowadays it's an app with some kind of driving technology on top of it, right? And that's true basically. We have like so much electronic in cars. So you have electronic that links up to your iPad or iPod, navigational systems, but they're just the beginning. You have digital tachometers or digital dashboards um, that show the speedometer. That's what you call them. Show a digital version of that. You have sensors that correct the tracking of the car and to automatically avoid slipping of the car. Um, Stuff like that. Track cruise controls and things like that. But I believe I found 10 ways where cars still can make better, and I'm going to share them here. So basically, I can also demonstrate them here on Cartman's favorite car. So basically, the first, ideas out there were, for example, um, when you when you have a car able to vibrate or shake the frame. And then when it's like cold outside, like now, I'm living in the northeast, we have snow outside, and you know, if the car was full of snow could just like vibrate the frame, the snow would just be vibrated off, right? So you don't need to stand there and shovel and clean out the snow. The car will just vibrate for a couple minutes and the snow is gone. It's one idea. Um, but I have a better idea for that. What if we made the whole metal frame heatable? Like if that was the car, you can all the metal becomes heating up. You can already do that with the windows, and so then that's even a more efficient way than just shaking the frame, because sometimes ice is very strong and stuck on the car, on the hood or on the windows maybe even. So if you heat up the metal, the ice will melt. And these, you already have heatable windshields and heatable windows. So I believe it would be easy to implement that into the metal. Okay, so number two would be an electrical theft protection that shocks would-be thieves. So here's the thing. Of course, we leave the car and we leave the laptop that we just freshly bought. We left it in the car. Our favorite purse, we left it in the car. Whatever we can think of valuable stuff, we leave in the car openly, and that's when people break into the car and steal it. So, how about and thieves actually doing that because there's a car alarm? Well, so what? Nobody reacts to a car alarm anyway. However, if you make the car alarm to give like small or moderate sized electrical current, like electrical shocks, somebody tries to break the car open or smash the window in, um, then any would be thief would be stunned and maybe even rendered unconscious right there. You don't want to kill them, but make them unconscious until the police arrives. And so that would be a repellent against thieves because you know, they risk when breaking into a car that they themselves get harmed, right? So, right, once again, I said not killing, but um, moderate electrical shocks, and I promise then car thefts would go down. That would be one idea. Number three would be a head-up display. So basically, you drive and then you have to glance down to the speedometer, and that's a distraction. But what if you could have a head up display, like in fighter jets? Wouldn't that be cool? So you see all you have like in front of the window, you have the speed, the kilometers to distance, the oil, the gas, and all these kind of stuff you have right there. And you can look straight ahead while green numbers show you how far you're going. Wouldn't that be cool? And it would also make it easier to, wouldn't get distracted, right? You wouldn't get distracted. It's right in front of you, so it's practical value. Then number 4 is an uplink to Google Glass or iPhone for easier navigation. Maybe that already exists, but what I have in mind is, imagine, you spend your vacation somewhere in Spain or in Florida or wherever, away from where you live normally, or you found this really nice place in nature. So you take a photo of it, but you forgot where this place is, or you can't get there. Maybe you were there last year in Spain and you live in the US and you can't really just go back there. You could have, a photo taken with your Google Glass or with your iPhone and then connect it to the car. And now the car looks at similar pictures to the picture you showed. And then it drives you to a destination that is similar to the one you experienced on your holiday. Wouldn't that be cool? Instead of typing in into your GPS navigation system where you want to go, you just upload a photo of a restaurant you want to go, or you want to go to a restaurant similar that looks similar to the restaurant of your photo, and the car looks at its database and figures out a place to go and gives you the direction there. Very easy. Skips the step of just typing in. That would be a nice little gadget for the car. Number 5, an eject seat, right? So in fighter planes you have that. The fighter plane goes down, the pilot ejects, right? Here with the car you do the same. The car is about to smash, and then before it smashes you get Cartman thrown out with jetpacks, because normally what eject seats have in fighter planes, they have a parachute that unfolds, right? And that guides the pilot slowly to the ground. Now, if you're too close to the ground, then you don't get up as much as you would need for the parachute to unfold. So maybe you can have just an enhanced jetpack on the back that just keeps you above ground, that fires when your car goes and starts to smash into something. The seat ejects you with jetpack. You slowly how do you call it? You slowly fall. I forgot the English word. You slowly venture to the ground, and no harm comes to you while you watch your car being crashed on the street. And I swear, this is not just an excuse. This episode is not just an excuse to play with my toy car, but I thought it's a good demonstration measure, right? So that's the eject seat. The second is self-sealing wheels, right? So you drive over like a screw or whatever is on the street, and you get a flat tire, and that's a big hassle. You have to stop, and then you have to change the flat tire to a replacement tire. Often those replacement tire are really no good, so you just get to the next repair shop, and then you have to, they have to keep your car and put a real new tire on it, and so on and so forth. Huge hassle, and also dangerous. If the tire bursts when you're at high speed, you can lose control over the car and die from a car accident. So what you want is a tire that seals itself up. Basically, you have material that detects, there's a sensor that detects when a tire gets off slack, right? There's a hole in the tire, it bursts, and then the tire flabbers around. A sensor detects that as early as possible. Then you have a material that self-seals. Those materials exist. And so while this wheel is sealing the hole, an electronic would diverge forces to the other 3 wheels. And whoever saw Michael Schumacher in Formula One in, I think, end of 1990s or beginning of 2000s, he was driving, German Formula One driver, if you didn't know. He was driving around a curve, and then he was crashing into a competitor, David Coulthard. And Schumacher lost one of his front wheels, it just flew off. And yet the amazing thing was that the whole car was so stable that Schumacher was able to drive with 3 wheels into the box. So if that's possible, I'm sure it's possible you put track control in the normal car that the weight gets balanced onto the other 3 wheels while the damaged wheel gets sealed, and then you can directly drive with that car to the repair shop. You don't need to stop, you don't need to change, you're safe, you don't need to stop to change the tire, and it's fast and convenient. That would be number 6. Number 7 is fog radar. So people crash all the time, and those crashes are often fatal in fog. Now, it's not like that people go out of their house and then it's a foggy morning and then people nevertheless decide to drive reckless. No. The problem is when you drive and all of a sudden a wall of fog comes down, and these things can happen really fast. You don't see anything anymore, and you have no idea whether there's a car in front of you just vanishing in the fog or not. And more often than not, you crash into a car like that if that happens. So, what if you had like a sonar or radar that would ping and would see in fog, would allow you to determine the distance to the front car in front of you, and then an electronic would automatically slow down the car, something of that sort. I think there are already distance devices that measure the distance, but as far as I know, they depend on cameras, they depend on light paths. But in fog, you don't have that light path to help you, right? So you need some acoustic signal, or you need some laser that would accurately predict when you are too close to a car in front of you and slow you down. That would be number 7. Number 8 is similar to number 6, is self-sealing wheels, but now I'm talking about ice-proof tires. And what I mean by that is there is a lot of materials they call smart material. When you put in an electric current or magnetic field, they change their properties. So examples are piezoelectric crystals that change their shape when you put in an electrical currency. There's many other materials. I have an overview of that on Wikipedia. I've linked that to the corresponding blog article. So if you want, you can check it out there. In very general terms, I think about a tire that changes its material when it starts slipping. So if you're on an icy road, the biggest dangers are pockets of black ice that you don't see. All of a sudden, the road is fine, and all of a sudden there is some patch of ice. You don't really see that, but your wheels lose the grip, and your car starts careening and driving, crashing, veering off the road, or crashing into oncoming traffic. So what you want is a sensor that recognizes once again when the car gets out of whack, when the wheel spins through because all of a sudden the surface is doesn't have grip on the surface anymore, and so then the electronic would determine that there's ice, or the car is slipping, hydrodynamic, or any of these things where a car can slip off and veer off course. So electronic would determine what happened, and then would start to put an electric field onto the wheel, and then maybe the density of the rubber can be changed. It can be made more sticky on the ground, can be made softer, can be made harder. It's a challenge to do that while the car is turning fast, but I believe it can be done. I mean, I don't see any reason why it would not be possible. And that would be a great on for security, a great add-on for security. Number 9, a damage-absorbing finish. Imagine Cartman here sees this is his friend Kyle's car and starts just keying the car across the hood. or he drives the car into a ditch and you have a small damage here. So normally these small damages or scratches are annoying because do they really require you to go to the repair shop to take them care of? If you need the car every day, you think twice whether you want to invest the money and the time to take care of that scratch on your car. Yet it's a blemish that angers you nonetheless, right? Or maybe it doesn't anger you, but still is something you don't want to have forever, right? So my idea would be to have colored pigments in the metal frame that change their alignment when you put in an electric current. And if you have a scratch and you can apply an electric current, get the pigment to float back into that scratch, right? And seal the scratch that way. That would take care in a very easy and convenient way of any blemishes, scratches, anything like that. Right? If you have a really strong blemish in it, where the color is shattering away a little bit, right? Then you could apply a new layer of that color, use an electric field to align that perfectly, and you have a smooth coating again. A smart paint is material. Number 10, a car to live in, right? So if you travel long distances, we know in an airplane we are like, if you're in the first class, you have these nice seats that fold into a complete bed and you can have the best sleep of your life. So what if you had a similar car like that? You can retract the dashboard and this car seat just flattens out, that you have a real bed. And then you just stop in some parking spot or whatever and just have a real bed inside. Maybe you can even have an ultrasonic shower like they have in Star Trek that just like evaporates any dirt you have on your body. So you would have a shower and a bedroom within your car. And that would save you some hotel costs and would enable you to take really a good sleep if you have to drive through the night. Those are my 10 ideas. Let me know if you like them. Leave me a comment. I answer everyone. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and click on like. I thank you very much for that. And if you want, I'm even happier if you subscribe to my channel. And I'm happy to have you. Thank you very much for being my guest. Tune in again tomorrow for another day of the 10 Idea Machine 10 Idea Challenge. And I wish you a nice almost second half of the first week of February 2016. Bye.